geeks, it's Friday, and I'm sitting in Atlanta traffic. I'm like barely moving. I think I'm going to like 2 miles an hour. I don't know if you've ever been to Atlanta, but don't. Especially not at on a Friday afternoon at like 4 o'clock. Anyway, this is my public vlog, because I technically am in public. And actually I can do a better one next week, but this is just kind of me doing this right now. Because I don't know when I'm getting home, because I've been sitting here for a really, really, really long time. And when I get home, the town that I live in has nowhere public except for like Walmart. And I know from experience that if you take a camera into Walmart, you will get kicked out. And if you come back in the next day, they will tell you to leave. So this is my public vlog for now, but next week I will be back at school, so I can do something a lot better then. And okay, the question for this week was, what decade would you live in if you could live in any decade besides this one, I'm guessing. And given my current predicament, I would have to say that I would live in any decade where they didn't have cars. Normally I probably would have said, 60s, 70s, but that's what both of you guys said, and I want to be more original than that. So I'm going to go with, any decade before they had cars. People in Atlanta don't know how to drive. I'm the exception. I'm the only person in all of Atlanta that knows how to drive. It's actually not as bad as it usually is today because the traffic's so bad. Like, people aren't doing crazy things, like trying to pass you, because there's nowhere to go. But it's pretty bad. Anyway, I want to talk about, today I want to talk about my favorite show, which is Supernatural on the CW. The only thing on the CW worth watching. And I haven't actually seen last night's episode. It comes on Thursdays at 9. I didn't see last night's episode because I've been in Athens with my best friend since we were in 5th grade, which is a pretty long time. And so I missed last night's. But I really haven't been that thrilled with this season. I guess I should tell you what the show's about if you don't know. It's basically about two highly attractive brothers that go around the continental U.S. killing demons and ghosts, which I've been interested in that sort of thing since I was like 6 years old. So the show holds a lot of interest for me. I've been a big fan of it for a long time. And this season has been kind of different from the other seasons. Usually, it's been about like demons and all that. And this season they bring in the antithesis of that, which would be the angels. And I enjoy the religious aspect of it because I really enjoy any show where they start debating stuff like that, discussing stuff like that, and showing you different viewpoints, that sort of thing. But I'm not as big of a fan of just the general angst of the show right now. If you watch the show, you'll know Sam and Dean are the two brothers. Dean was recently pulled out of hell by an angel named Castiel. And Dean's been like Captain Angst for this entire season. Meanwhile, Sam's off doing demonic things and hanging out with this demon chick named Ruby, who I have hated since she showed up last season. So I'm really just not too thrilled with the direction of the show right now. And this definitely does count as public because people in the cars next to me are looking at me like I'm an idiot. Even though they've been sitting next to me watching me do this for like 4 minutes now, so I don't know why they're doing anything about it now. But I don't know. I know you watched the show, Jason. I don't know about Sam. You haven't mentioned it, so I don't know. But yeah, Jason, I know we've talked a little bit on Twitter about the show this season. So what do you think about it? You've probably already seen last night's episode, which I'm looking forward to watching last night's episode because it's supposed to be more back to the roots of the show. I just went under the tunnel. Which is like more humor based and just like a lot of brotherly back and forth stuff. And I recently met a lot of really awesome people from the Supernatural fandom. I know like one person that watches the show that I know, like, I actually actually know IRL, as it were. And I've recently met a lot of people on Twitter, so I finally gotten to like discuss the show with people, which I used to just kind of had to discuss it with myself, which I actually didn't do. I just kind of didn't talk about it with anybody. Actually, my college campus, if you know anything about North Carolina, you know that there are a lot of colleges in North Carolina. Yeah, there's tons and tons of ghost stories about my college. I don't know, that's always just kind of been my thing, I guess. Like the history of it and the supernatural aspect of it has always just really interested me. And I'm going into 6 minutes now, so I'm going to cut this off and hopefully make it home before Saturday, which seems doubtful. But I will see you guys next Friday, and Jason, I will see you on